Let's see what she put up today. I've skipped through the intro and the cameo ad. And let's see. See if I can move this around and get up here to playback speed. I want to speed it up because she is kind of a slow talker, right? So, I know I am too. I get it. But let's see what's going on here.
Foodie Beauties, Beezers, everyone, welcome back to another video. So, today, I thought was weigh-in day. Actually, to make it a proper week, tomorrow would actually be weigh-in day. Because the last time I weighed myself was October 8th. And today's the 14th, so I guess technically tomorrow, but I'm doing my weigh-in today. I did my weigh-in today thinking that it was weigh-in day, so I'm going to insert my weigh-in here.
I can't see it.
So, as you can see, I'm down a little bit. Almost.
I mean, honestly, Chantel, at your size, you should have lost 10 pounds in the first week. Easily. I mean, even when I was 210 and I started losing weight, I was dropping like 10 pounds within the first week. Every time I started a gym regimen, I would lose 10 pounds within the first week. It's, that's not a great sign that you lost so little. So it means that you're not doing enough exercise to compensate for what you were eating. And even though your meals are smaller, they're not really healthier. You can't pour cheese all over everything.
2 pounds and however many kgs. So that's, I'm not going to complain about that. For me, initially, I go through a larger weight loss amount, usually probably as my body's getting rid of a lot of excess water, retained water and stuff like that. And then it slows down a little bit, and that's fine. For this journey, it's not a diet. It's not something that I'm going to be rushing into. It's no crash diets. It's a lifestyle change. And when it comes to weight loss, actually, when you let your body just do this, when you do what you can do and let your body just adjust and do the rest, I think that's probably the healthier way to do it and the more sustainable way. So for those of you who are new,
why are your eyes so shifty? And keep looking to the left. Because every time you tell us a fib, you look to the left. Can you be real about this, please? Up your game on that treadmill. Start walking faster and start walking longer, right? And cut the cheese out of your diet because you're putting way too much cheese on everything. And pickles, come on, you don't need that kind of sodium.
And I have a long time history with binge eating disorder, food addiction, and obesity, and I am type 2 diabetic. I have sleep apnea and some other health issues. I've had some operations and other things in the past that have, some health issues. And I do also suffer from depression and anxiety, which I do take medication for. So I'm trying to reverse the sleep apnea for sure. I would love to reverse that, the type 2 diabetes. But the main thing that I'm focusing on right now is to develop.
It's going to be really hard for you to reverse the sleep apnea because of the amount of fat you've accumulated on your neck, on your throat, the pressure that you're feeling when you lie down is all your chin spanks and all that, trying to hide it in. That is so much pressure. But you also have a lot of pressure on your lungs.
A eating pattern that will prevent me from binge eating. On my free time yesterday, I took the time for myself to start rereading books that have made a lot of sense to me in the past. books written by therapists, books written by people who have binge eating disorder and have found a way for them that has worked. The ones that I really, really, really like are, I really love the binge code, and I really love reading articles about how to overcome binge eating. I have been to many therapy sessions to try to aid in this. I have been to a binge eating disorder center outpatient program. I was not eligible for an inpatient program.
But how many times? I mean, it seems like you just keep going in for like the introduction session and then blow off the rest of what you're supposed to do.
So where I was put on Vyvanse, and I really hated the way that made me feel. And at the end of the day, I just ended up being hungrier from not eating all day. So I really don't think for me that the answer is a medication or a magic pill that's going to help fix what's up here. The metformin does sort of curb my appetite a little bit. It upset because I have an upset stomach from it, and it just, it does help with the hunger a little bit. So, but overall, just being consistent with something that I can be is helping my mental health. And so far, I've been able to be consistent with what I'm doing, and knock on wood, it seems to be working for the time being. I may have to change course eventually and get, change things a little bit to keep the weight loss going. I don't know how it's going to go, but
go to your diabetic appointments that they wanted you to go to. You have a prescription for it. Go to it. Like, what's the problem here? Is it too expensive? Because you're always saying that the healthcare in Kuwait is so cheap, right? So what's the problem here for you to attend those sessions? At the very least, you should get a diabetic cookbook and start following actual recipes rather than trying to make everything up.
I'm just taking it literally minute by minute at this point. Have I had any really hard moments? Yeah, I have. I have had some tough moments. Yeah, I will say, since Bangkok. There's been some, especially at night, where I just have a really, really hard time. So sometimes, usually what I'll do is I'll have a snack at night, and it does help. But the formula that's helped me recently is 3 meals and at least 1 snack and some fruit. So it's really essentially, I guess I'll just say 3 meals and 2 snacks, but the meals are, not huge. That's the deal. that's the key. They're not huge. They're decent sized meals and relatively healthy. They're homemade. So that's, what it's been. I've also been doing between 20 to 30 minutes on the treadmill. Now, I know people think that I just started at 10 minutes, and you know what? Basically just, and this is like...
But what do your meals look like? I had 2 over medium eggs and a piece of toast for breakfast. What does your meals look like?
Not nice of me to say, but a big F you to the people who just crap on someone's efforts when they're losing weight. Like, I don't care, who the person is. If you don't like them, whatever.
I'm not crapping on your efforts, but I'm saying that they're not good enough. And they're not good enough because you're not getting the results that you should be getting. You should have lost 10 pounds in the first week.
If somebody's trying to improve their life and you're that sad individual who just tries to bring them down, it's just, you're just low. You're just low. So just 10 minutes is a big deal when you're very sedentary and you couldn't walk 10 minutes straight without sitting before, So, yeah, I think that, but yeah, I know those are...
Have you stopped sealing? Because that's really important. If you're doing the treadmill walking now, you should be improving your joint performance and relieving your back pain by strengthening your muscles and loosening that whole area up. So are you then stiffening yourself up by immediately going to the couch and sealing?
Haters, and they're not worth my time. But there's always going to be people trying to bring you down in life. It's just how life is. It's never going to change. But I digress. All of that to say, a lot of the time I would do 10-minute intervals. So 10 minutes at a time, but a few different times a day. And I haven't gone beyond 30 minutes yet, but I did do 20 minutes all in one shot yesterday, and I felt good about that, and I felt like I could have probably kept on going. So I'll just keep aiming for more and more to do better and better,
When you feel like you can keep going, do it. Keep going. Especially because you're walking at such a slow pace. It's not like it's a big deal.
And I want to get to a point where I can do all of the things I could never do as a larger person. And there's many. There's so many, you know? So, mentally it's been really tough sometimes. Like last night, yesterday I tried using my fitness pal again, counting calories, and I don't think I'm ready for that yet because I find it just, all this.
You just don't want to see the results of what you're cooking on screen. But I found my fitness pal to be incredibly helpful when I was working on this in about 14 years ago, when I was going through a weight loss journey. And I was doing the gym 5 days a week. And I was counting my calories. I was entering all of the exercise that I did to show, what I burned for the day. I was wearing one of those armbands that counts your steps. I mean, it was old school. It was like 14 years ago. I know there's other devices that do that now. But I was counting steps. And I was able to lose quite a bit of weight after getting plumped up by my feeder boyfriend. Girl, you gotta pay attention to it or it's not gonna happen. Period. So use my fitness pal. Start looking at what you want to eat, calculating out the calories before you go.
I haven't been counting calories, okay? And I'm still losing weight, still losing inches. My clothes are fitting me a bit different already. Yes, already. You can lose a few inches, a week, no problem. And, hi, baby. And I decided maybe I should start counting calories and see. But I plugged in my numbers. And when I last used the app, it said that I was 367 pounds.
Less than 1 pound week over week. For the first week is not a successful number, Chantal. So, I don't know what to tell you. And if you're looking to my fitness pal for your first entry, it depends on what year you actually picked up the program. Like if I was to do that today, it would be looking at my starting point as being back in like 2010 or something.
And not 334. So whenever I put my new weight in, it reduced my calories. Now what's good about that app is that when you add exercise, it does give you more calories based on the exercise. And, but it wanted me to not go above 1,600 and something calories. And I panicked because I'm used to eating.
You don't have to do that. And you might want to check with Shakara on this, or some of the other people who have better knowledge than me on diet. But my understanding is that you need to be at a reasonable amount that is below your maintenance weight, right? So the amount of calories that you intake normally today needs to be cut way down, because you were getting to a point where you were increasing above your maintenance calories, and that's why you continued to gain and gain and gain. You probably, I'm not a dietitian, I cannot tell you, but I think you could probably be fine with like somewhere around 2,200 to 2,500 in the early days of your diet plan.
Hopefully like over 3,000 a day at least, depending. It really depends on what a binge would be like for me, or but copious amounts of calories every day. I didn't get to the size eating pineapples and salad. So, but if I'm being honest, I decided to do that, and I really only had enough calories for like 2 decent sized meals and then my snack. And not the 3 meals I've been eating, you know, like whatever. And I just find that it was just too small. Like it was not enough. So that by the time nighttime came around and I had my snack already, and I go to bed we go to bed very, very late. Okay. Like early hours of the morning. So there would have been like 4 or 5 hours where I wasn't eating anything based on my FitnessPal. And I know that's good for your body, intermittent fasting, but when you're trying to recover from binge eating disorder, at least what works for me, fasting is...
Going to sleep is not fasting, Chantel. I don't even know what this intermittent fasting is. But I'll tell you what, I'm starting to think about lunch, and my lunch is going to be cottage cheese and strawberries. That's going to be my lunch, okay?
The number one thing that will trigger me to spiral. And I do agree fasting is healthy. It does deplete your glycogen stores. It does give your body a rest, your digestive system a rest. But where I'm at with my binge eating recovery, there's no way. Even the books I'm reading and the articles I'm reading on how to overcome it, and these are like scholarly articles, okay? They're not just like random people on the internet. You should not let yourself get too hungry because that will trigger, you know? So for me, a trigger, and you should recognize your triggers in recovery, is knowing your triggers, right? So one of mine is letting myself get too hungry. And because then I just want to eat everything. So I try to eat every few hours, like every 3 to 4 hours max. Okay, so usually every 3 hours, even if it's something small, but it has to be substantial enough to satisfy that hunger pang. And this is, when I do this consistently, it's developing a pattern of eating. And this is part of repairing my relationship with my dietary habits, with how I eat, with food in general. So last night I thought, oh my gosh, I need to eat something. Like I need to. And I made something healthy. I made a tuna fish sandwich with yellow mustard on multigrain bread, and I had an ounce of cheese and some pickles and pickled garlic, and that took the hunger away and my urge to...
You didn't need the cheese, you didn't need the pickles, you really did not need either of those things. God damn, girl. Plus, you're eating too close to bedtime.
Go binge on 3 packs of noodles and 5 bags of chips, and all of the cheese in the fridge went away. It went away. So, you know, thank God. But I had that guilt after. Like, I felt like, oh my gosh, like I ate something over above the calories from my FitnessPal. So right now, that guilt is part of the cycle of the binge cycle, and I need to get away from that. So that's also part of repairing my relationship with food. And for me, like, everyone's journey is different. Not everyone has the same conditions as everyone else. And this is just me. And this is just years and years of doing this and getting to know my body more. So I said to myself, you know, oh my gosh, my weigh-in tomorrow, I'm not going to have lost weight. I have all this guilt about having eaten something. And you know what? No, it's all just head noise. It's all just noise, you know? There's a lot of noise with eating disorders. And it's learning to deal with those.
I'm fairly certain that you can actually reprogram my FitnessPal to have a more reasonable calorie count. I'm fairly certain that's adjustable. I haven't used the program in years, but I remember setting a pretty aggressive goal for myself, and that it was up to me what I wanted to choose. So why did you choose 1600?
Those noises, that is also is an integral part of recovery. So in the end, I had the meal, and I panicked and felt bad, even though it was totally fine because I was awake, right? So I have to space out my meals better, plan them better and everything, so that I'm not super hungry. I can't go to bed if I'm super hungry. My brain will just not let me sleep. It will just not turn off, and it will be obsessed. The food noise will be deafening. So it's better to eat something healthy than to give into a binge urge. Do you see like what I mean? That's what I've discovered. And I think that the counting calories right now is a bit triggering for me. So I'm just going to put that on the back burner, just continue to do what I'm doing, continue to be consistent with the 3 meals, 2 snacks, and the treadmill, the walking, because it is making me feel a lot better. So that's basically...
Well, I think that's a dumbass move. You should still use my FitnessPal. You should get into the settings and reset your calorie goal. God damn, girl. It's like you're so lazy about shit, and you have nothing else to do all day. You could be completely focused on restoring your health, and you just make up all these fucked up excuses.
what I'm doing at the moment, and inshallah I can keep going. So I will weigh again in a week, a full week's time, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to stick to this formula for now. It's manageable for me, clearly, because usually I would have, totally fallen off by now and spiraled out, especially after my cheat meal, and I didn't allow myself to do that because I actually feel like I want to change now. I think the difference is all the other times I didn't really feel like I could do it, and like I really, really, really wanted to. I wanted to stay comfortable. I wanted to stay comfortable. It's not comfortable. It's just not. So, but neither is being unhealthy. Let's be real, and I want to do so many things, fun things. I feel old, but I realize I'm young, and if my health improves, I'll be even younger, and I can do even more things. I want to walk from one end of my hometown to the other, like I used to be able to, in my 20s. I want to go to every amusement park and ride every ride, even if I throw up on the spinny ones. I don't care. I don't care. I'll be so happy that I'm fitting in it. I don't care. There's a lot of things I want to do. I don't want to be afraid of a booth at a restaurant.
It's okay to give up on that shit. I'm just being real. I'm 50, Chantel. I could be like your big sister or something. And I'll tell you, I have, especially after I've watched so many roller coaster disaster videos and stuff. And, I've lived with some of them happening in my hood, if you will. Like the overweight woman who fell off of Perilous Plunge because she couldn't get the bar down and the belts strapped. And so when they went down, she fell off the ride and died. There have been a lot of accidents, and so I kind of don't really have much of a desire to do roller coasters anymore, especially the larger they make them. Like at Six Flags Magic Mountain, they have a bunch of super coasters, and the lines are like 3 hours long for each one of them. It's like you can't get anything done that day. I would rather spend my day in like a nature park, or at the beach, or something that's a little bit more peaceful than trying to get through Disneyland. I've been stuck on Indiana Jones twice. My mom almost fell out of the ride once. I've been stuck on Space Mountain once. We have a picture of that one. And I know that Disneyland is probably one of the best known parks for maintenance, but even they have screwed up. Thunder Mountain had a death because one of the cars malfunctioned and started rolling backwards and slammed into the next train. So they had some fatalities. The Roger Rabbit ride in Toontown had a large woman with a small child, and because the bar didn't go down all the way, he fell out because he was sitting on the outside of her, and he fell out and got crushed. They had to shut down the ride, completely redesign the safety on that, and change their safety protocol that the larger people need to sit on the outside of the cab. But, it always takes somebody getting hurt for them to figure out what needs to be changed,
Strong anymore, So I used to have to plan outings with my friends, and, I would always have to pick a restaurant based on the tables. Do they have tables or booths? Because you're so, concerned about going there and not fitting in the booth and everyone looking at you and you have to change tables. It's just not fun. So I'm looking forward to shopping for regular clothes and not having to look at specialty clothing stores for fat people. You know, there's a lot I can't do right now that I want to do. So all that being said, that's just a little bit of a little talk for you and my weigh-in. So, which was a day early, but yeah, I guess that's about it. I do weigh myself. I will be weighing myself however I want to do it. Like, I think I've proven myself enough at this point that, I mean, I've weighed myself on many scales. The doctor scale would not lie. They want an accurate weight so they can properly give you the proper amount of proper medication.
Yeah, but he's not validating that for you. The question is, are you holding on to items around you when you're weighing yourself? Are you removing one of your legs from the scale while you're doing it? Because it just doesn't seem, your weigh-ins don't seem to line up with your appearance. And that's even with the massive amount of filters that you've been using.
And stuff like that. So whatever. I mean, if immature adult people there's a whole community of people who just crap on other people, and it's just disgusting. And if you want to be those people,
I think honestly, Chantel, that if you felt that you needed to lie about your weigh-ins, you shouldn't have shared them in the first place. You should have just say, hey, I'm working on XYZ stuff as your content. But you didn't need to get into fictional shit to try and prove progress. Because, I mean, even when you are doing whatever it is that you're doing, you have lost less than 1 pound in a week. And that was your first week of exercise, and it should have been closer to 10 pounds.
People who don't believe my weigh-ins, I really don't care. It really doesn't affect my progress, actually, so feel free. But yeah, I'm just going to continue to do what I want with my weigh-ins. You know, Salah's not always available to weigh me when I want to weigh in, and I'm not going to like go out of my way to prove myself to people who just continue to come up with excuses anyways and don't believe a word I say. So think I'm a liar all you want. I'm done. I'm done explaining myself. I'm done trying to prove myself to insignificant gnats on the internet, okay? And I'm not talking about my followers who love me. You guys know I love you, and thank you for the support. But that's why I'm so up and down with my moods, and but I like my community the way it was. And you can laugh and say, oh, we only have 400 people in your chat. Take away the only, honey. I like the fact that there's a smaller group. I don't care, whatever. I'm grateful for every single one of you who watch me. You know, I prefer peace and love and kindness and positive vibes.
That's great. You should continue to put that out to the React channel world as well, and stop the name calling. At least all you did was call us gnats this time.
Versus a few extra views for a little bit of extra more money and selling my soul for that and being miserable. No, thank you. So if you want to continue to support reaction channels with, where you're allowed to go say what you want about me, that's fine. I don't care. They block people who talk nasty about them too, and I'm no different. I have the right to protect my mental health. This is a journey where I need a lot of positivity, and there are people who come into my community just to try to derail me, and I find that so gross, and I don't want those people near me anyways. I would rather take the pay cut. Thank you very much, as per usual.
But you're conflating things. The people who come into your chat are not the same people who react to your published content, right? Have you ever seen me in your chat? I've never been there. I mean, there might be some. I think Rose Thorn Reacts went in there once and actually got gifted a membership. But, I don't know that she was actually participating. I think she was trying to get an early jump on your content. You're not having people respond in your chat that are reactors. So you need to stop conflating these two things as though they are the same.
So whatever. Actually, I'm doing fine with what I earn anyways. And, you know, like I said, I have a supportive husband. I know people don't believe that. I don't care. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's about it. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the future. Bye.
Okay. All right. Bye. So that's today's video, because she said she's going to take a couple days off at least from live streaming, because I guess she got spooked over the weekend when things did not go well, and whatever was going on with her where she looked like she was super intoxicated. But anyway, let me juxtapose this with my weight loss journey in 2018. So here's kind of a full look at my ups and downs. This was me in 2019 getting down to where I had been in, let me see, $20.12. This is me in the beginning of 2018 with Gail McLaughlin, who was formerly the mayor of Richmond, California. This is me and in 2018 and then in 2019. So, like I said, you know, you should have dropped more weight in the first week. I still have this dress. Might try it on. I could definitely not walk in the stilettos, but I should give it a try and see if it still fits. Anywho, I don't know what to tell you, girl. You should have lost more weight in the first week. You should be seeing your clothes get loose like that. Yeah, I guess I shared that picture a lot. I used to be a hairdresser. Well, with that, I'm going to wrap up the video, but I think that you should realize that you should have made more progress, because you should have had a lot of water drop out of you in that first week. So you're doing something in your diet that is making it impossible for you to truly lose weight. And you got to figure that out. But you need to go to those diabetic appointments to do it. Good luck.